Hey, what's up, fam? How you doing? I hope you're doing fine wherever you are today. Now, from the recent life that I've been seeing or videos that I've been seeing about people in the United States, doesn't seem like things are going good as it's supposed to be going. And especially my interest is in people in especially white America. Because why am I saying white America? I'm saying white America because the structures that were built in the systems of the United States were built to favor white people. But it leaves me with a lot of questions seeing a couple of white people complaining about the standards of living, life itself, the life in America becoming bearable. And I know that this is not for the first time you're hearing this, and it makes you ask question: where have these structures go that were to prevent you from all these problems? Because for me, I understand. If it were a black person, I understand, because for the longest time, the system has been against. The system have been always been rigged against black people. But now it's happening to also white people, and now they are realizing the truth that what black people were saying, well, it was true, and now it's catching up with them, and they were like, okay, I didn't sign up for this. I wasn't ready for this. Why is this happening to me? Because things seem to be going haywire for white folks in the United States. And I understand it might be for all Americans, but black people have been saying this for the longest time. And now we are hearing voices we are hearing white voices in regards to how life in the United States it's becoming unbearable, and it's becoming unbearable for everyone, which makes you leaves you with a lot of question. The question that I would like to ask black people and white people, first to white America: do you think this is the time to join hands to put down the oligarchs who are controlling the United States? That's the first question. Black people, are you ready to work with white folks? Just a question. I'm not trying to make you work together with them or something, but I'm just asking, are you ready to work with white folks to remove the oligarchs that are making life, the corporates that are making life of people of the United States so hard? Are you ready to do that? Right. And second, for white people, why were you not complaining when this was happening to black people? Right? Because I know you are all Americans, but you know the structures, how the systems of the United States are embedded in racism, are embedded in fascism, are embedded in bias, right? And they say this thing that they usually sell to people called meritocracy. Meritocracy is not there in the United States, right? And so when I see white people crying, black people had already cried, and now they're used to it. What do you think about this? I want us to watch the video. I'll be back. We'll talk about this. Until then, kindly let's watch the video. If you're watching for the first time, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back and talk about this.
I don't even know how to start this because I don't know how to explain it. How do you explain the complexity of the immigration system to someone who is a natural born citizen who literally has never had to worry about being snubbed of opportunities? For other people who they lack that, the nationality, not being a US citizen or resident, missing out on so many opportunities just because of your nationality. It's so hard to explain to some people who have never had to experience that kind of stress, and it makes me so sad that it's not talked about. I have come across so many different type of videos in my For You page, but I have never ever once seen an F1 OPT struggles kind of thing. Basically right now I'm in a company that not only do they not want to sponsor me, which fine, they're not giving me opportunities to grow because they don't want to commit to me. They don't want to invest in me. And it's been told to my face that unless something in my status changes, but it's what do you want me to do about it? What can I do about it, dude?
This is the reality of living in America. This morning I took my daughter to daycare, and I pulled up next to a vehicle that was run down and beat up. And as I got out, I saw that there was a man sleeping, passed out, head down on the steering wheel. And next to him, I'm not a gun expert, but next to him in the passenger seat looked like what it was something that looked to be like a scope. And I know enough about hunting to know what scopes are used for and what they're attached to. But there were bags around it, and I couldn't fully tell what it was. So I made the decision, since he was sleeping, I was going to take my daughter upstairs, but I took her up myself. That's a long story. And I told the daycare people what was going on. So they immediately called the cops. I went downstairs, took a picture of the vehicle, and then moved my car to sit so that I could watch and stay there. And as I sat there, I thought about how I was defenseless in that moment, but if he got out of that car and in any way looked like he was going to be moving towards the daycare with any kind of weapon, I was gonna go after him. And I knew that I would die. But I don't care. I will die for my child. And that's the first time I've ever had to actually think that or feel that. And so the cops came, and he came out of the car peacefully. And then the thoughts started swirling through my head. And this is what happens when you live in America. He was a person of color, which I didn't notice when I called. I swear on my life I did not notice, or I didn't call, but whatever. All white cops. He was not combative. He was very calm. And they did end up arresting him, which I found out later was because he had a warrant out for a traffic violation. And so I'm having just so many feelings right now about knowing I did the exact right thing to protect my child and the other children in that daycare, but also feeling bad for this man, because God knows what his situation is. They didn't take anything out of the car, so maybe there wasn't a weapon. Maybe I must have missed, I don't know. But to live in America means that this is a daily reality for us. So the next time that you come at us about your Second Amendment rights, I don't care about your Second Amendment rights. I care about my child's right to live, my right to live, that man's right to, take a nap in his car. But also he shouldn't be doing that in front of a daycare, but whatever. Just, if you're a parent of a child in America, just be on alert always. Always.
I'm sorry, but the American dream never fucking existed. Like, what? Your dream is to work until you are 65 and decrepit and not be able to make ends meet the entire time? Like, I'm sorry, but that just does not sound remotely appealing to me. It's not even about the dream anymore. Like, people are literally just trying to afford living in America. And here's the thing. If you are working for America, you will never be able to live your dream life in America. Like, and I know that most of you are probably already scrolled by now because you don't think it's possible to live in America without working for America. I was a server at the beginning of 2023. I quit my serving job. I started affiliate and digital marketing in April of 2023 and have now made almost $300,000 working online, and none of that came from my serving job. So if you are genuinely interested in working for yourself, starting an online business, check out the roadmap. It's at the top of my page. It literally shows you everything that you need to know to make money online, to start digital marketing. But I promise your dreams are so much more achievable than you think they are, but you're probably not going to reach very many of them by living that American dream life.
People are always saying that the average American makes $45,000 a year. Where does the average American work? I want to make $45,000 a year. Are you kidding me? The most I have ever made is $30,000 in a year. Where are these people working that they're making $45,000? Like, don't just tell me that they're making $45,000 a year. Where do they work? Is their job hiring? I need more details. Like, where are they getting these numbers from? I don't think I know anybody in my life who is making $45,000 a year. Like, that is insane. I think that's like the average, only because like there's literal billionaires who are making like so much in a year that like regular people, they're like, oh, the average is 45,000. The average person, I would say, probably makes like 30,000, like 35,000. Like, you're not making $45,000 an hour on like a $15 an hour fast food salary. Like, where are the people who are making $45,000 a year? Where are they working? Are they hiring? Tell me that, America!
What's the end goal here? Because the U.S. government cannot possibly believe that this is sustainable.
Don't forget, it's also now illegal to be homeless in a country where it's very hard to have a home. Hard to pay our rent. Hard to buy a house. Hard to pay your mortgage. But don't worry, if you can't do that, it's illegal. It's also now apparently illegal to feed the homeless. So don't worry about helping anybody. That's not what America's all about. Oh, and the retirement age has been raised. So don't worry, you will work until you die. I think it's fascinating that the government is not at all representing what America was originally formed to be.
I'm an American who lives in England, and I get asked a lot why did you leave Florida? Why would you want to move to this country of all places? And if you don't know what's happened in Tennessee this week, there was a mass shooting at a school. And despite all the other reasons why we moved, now being pregnant and bringing a child into the world, I would never have children in the United States, ever. And we were fortunate enough that my husband's from this country that we were able to move here, and I'm so glad we did, because I cannot imagine sending my kid to school knowing they might never come back because people love guns more than they love children. I can't imagine having my kid do active shooter drills. It's fucked up, and I'm glad I'm here and not there, even though this country's not perfect either. It's better.
If you are not struggling financially right now, then you need to consider yourself completely blessed. Like, don't even consider yourself. You are completely blessed. Like, every time I check my local mom group on Facebook, I see requests or people asking where they can get some financial assistance to pay utilities or assistance with rent. And it's concerning because these people are working full-time jobs and they just can't make things work right now. For example, this morning, a woman posted she's an RN working 2 jobs and still is struggling. I know we're all complaining about how expensive things are. For me, personally, like, my car insurance doubled in August. I was paying around $140 a month, and now I'm paying $280 for 2 vehicles, and I'm 1 driver. And I have never had a claim. There was no reason for the increase other than they just increased me. On top of that, Florida Power and Light rules the entire state of Florida now. They bought out Gulf Power, and since then, all I ever hear about from people is how astronomical their utility bills are. Everyone is trying to find ways to save money. But as soon as we save money in one area, something else goes up. So it's just kind of like we're sliding this scale back and forth, and it's actually like increasing. We're never saving, no matter how hard we try. Like, I stopped eating out with my kids. Obviously, eating out is super expensive, but I went almost a month no eating out, and it was still a struggle. And if you made it this far, I don't mean this to be like a pity party thing. I'm figuring it out. But last Friday, my birthday, my boss cut my hours in half. So yeah, I guess this is also like a PSA to people who aren't struggling right now. Don't be tone deaf, because you never know what's going on behind the scenes. If you start to notice behavior changes and lifestyle changes, I can promise you it's because people are being proactive or, I don't know, maybe reactive to their financial situation. It's just a mess.
How are people surviving financially nowadays? Because me and my husband make decent money. We only have 1 child. We have regular cars. We're still paying them off, so we have car payments. We live in a decent area, nothing fancy. And I feel like we're constantly struggling. And there's people that make less money than me and us, actually, and they're living wild lives. Like, are people just racking up all this debt? Or am I just doing something really, really, really wrong? Because I feel like I'm always trying to pay something off, or I'm always on a budget. And then student loans are due next month and nobody's talking about it. Like, how?
Hi. So I retired about 1.5 years ago. I'm 56 and a half, and I retired at 55 with not quite enough money to live off of. But, you know, how much would you pay to not have to work? I've got a good routine going. I'm doing the yoga and the walking, and I'm working on my novels. And it's been awesome. It's been great. I love it. But the truth is, I can't really afford to live this way. And so every once in a while, I think about, you know, I should get a part-time job, or, you know, get out of the house and do other stuff. And the truth is, I feel like I'm still recovering from my work life, and I don't really want to do anything else. And I understand that I'm paying for that by being poor. But you know what? It's worth it.
I just took out a loan for basic needs and food. Like, needs / food. I have never in my life had to take out a loan for the things that my home needs. I had to make the decision of gas or food, or somehow budget it and split that and get a little bit of gas and get a little bit of food until I get paid again. I said, there's no way. I cannot do this. I need to have a little bit more for gas, and I need to have enough food. So Affirm has, its thing with Sam's Club. I was like, fuck it. Let's just take out a loan for our basic needs. I feel like this is not okay. This is not okay. We're fucked.
Hey, what's up, fam? How you doing? I hope you're doing fine whenever you are today. Now, there are a lot of complaints, and I've seen this from white folks in the United States. And just like I've said, it leaves you with a lot of questions. It leaves you questioning what happened to the structures, what happened to all this that happened, right? And I understand this is happening to all Americans. And again, I'll ask this question. Initially, it was for black people. We were not seeing all these runs that are coming out of white people. Why did they stand together with black folks? Or maybe I don't know. Maybe they stood, but I don't know. Or maybe I didn't add, or maybe I didn't see. But where were they all along? Right? Those are amongst the questions that I would like to know, that I like to ask you to let me know how you feel about this. So there are a couple of things. People are beginning to experience true face of capitalism. While it's true that's happening because the United States is being controlled by the oligarchs, it's being controlled by people, by the corporates, by people who only see profit. They don't care about you now, whether you're black or white. Right now, this is where it comes to change. But do you think this needs for a call for unity between all these groups of people, Latinos, blacks, white people? Because this is also affecting Latinos, and as much as it's affecting black people, and as much as it's affecting white people. Do we need to see a call for unity in all these segments? Right? That's a question that I'm posing to my audience. I don't like them to answer me. Somebody's saying that you can also you can also thank greedy corporations for the rise in prices. The corporates are making record profits while the rest of us are experiencing what is called shrinkflation. Right? We are getting less but paying more. Shrinkflation. Getting less and paying more. Because while the price increases, you work, you don't get, the money that you use, the money that you're getting paid can't suffice your expenses. In short, that's what it means. And it's a sad thing. It's because there's a group of people that have decided to benefit out of what you have, to benefit of your struggles. And I understand, right? But we need to put in question the issues, like when is this gonna stop? Because the oligarchs, they're still gonna be benefiting all from this, and they don't care. Somebody said that the rich get richer and the middle class is now poor. Things are going to get really hard with Trump taking office with his new tariffs. I don't want to say that because amongst other things that black people want you all is about that. They want you all. Pull yourself by the bootstraps. I guess they say so. Somebody saying that the US has been going downhill since the Reagans in the 1980s. When I was growing up, workers' rights, health and retirement benefits, civil rights, and all being pushed aside to allow corporate power. The American dream has been slowly dying since I doubt as much as life without serious change. Makes sense. Somebody saying that I sympathize with everyone suffering. I subcontract to a legal immigrant for all our remodel house framing. He works 6 days a week and believes in the American dream. He just bought a house and is remodeling it for the family at night and on Sundays. Our company can't find any young American that want to work in a construction. Is it true? Is it? I don't know. This is just a person that shared what he thinks. Somebody saying that Africans kill me when they say, I dream of moving to America. I try to express how amazing they have it, like living in Africa. Kenya blew my mind. Ghana, I fell in love with Zanzibar. Was beautiful. It brought tears to my eyes, plus affordable, safe, and healthy with amazingly super friendly people. Dang, near all African Americans I know dream of moving to Africa. When we can afford to do so, lol. Trust me, African bros and sisters, the grass is definitely not greener in America. And thank you for the brother for highlighting this, because these are amongst the problems. These are amongst the things that we Africans back here don't understand, right? Because everyone just want to get their certificate after school. I want to go to America. I want to go to see the American dream. The grass is greener on the other side. That's what they usually think. Well, that's not the truth, because for the longest time, people have always tried to. Diasporans who have come to Africa, visited Kenya, Ghana, Tanzania. I've seen all these changes, and I've seen that Africans are having it well here in the motherland, because the prices are not that much high. They are getting it while it's still of high value, not as in the United States where you pay for more and, you know, get less of it. Right. And a couple of things like housing. Look at the housing systems in the United States and compare it with the housing systems in a country, let's say like Ghana or Kenya. You realize that there is so much money that is being spent in housing systems of the United States, which also affects you. And there is this policy, like being homeless in the United States is a problem. So when you become homeless in the United States, know that that's a problem. And again, you ask yourself, why will I get this money to purchase all this? And in as much as the message that I usually say, in as much as this doesn't sit well with you, I think the new American dream is just leaving the United States. That's all. You gotta leave, because if you don't leave, it's gonna get worse. And some people will say that, oh, you know, let's wait and see if the whole be changes for the new president who is getting in. Some people will wait, but I'll advise somebody who is entirely done and doesn't want to do anything with the United States might just leave. You have an option of going to Africa. You could go to China. I'm seeing a couple of Americans going to China, and it's okay. Some people going to the Philippines. The world is big. You have a life to live. Get out of there and start a new life, right? Where it's not shrinkflated, where it's not inflated, right? This is a presenter Jindook Stories, and I'm hoping to see you in my next video. But until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.